mer folly than hey ho the holly. This life is most jolly.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge, last one for the month of August. And I'm here with John, Sheila, and Maggie to do impromptu performances of the works of Shakespeare for you guys, chosen by the Wheel of Shakespeare. Based on the randomly chosen order, Sheila is going to be our first monologue, and then Maggie, and then John, then myself. Maybe some of our other regulars will trickle in a little bit later on to join us. Let's see, so let's get the wheel up here to see what Sheila is going to do for us first. Okay, here's our monologue wheel. Sheila is going to do rebellious subject. Okay, so the prince in Romeo and Juliet. So breaking up the brawl in the first scene of Romeo and Juliet. So whenever you're ready.
Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, profaners of this neighbor-stained steel. They not here? What ho! You men, you beasts, that quench the fire of your pernicious rage with purple fountains issuing from your veins. On pain of torture from those bloody hands, throw your mistempered weapons to the ground and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word by thee, old Capulet, and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets, and made Verona's ancient citizens cast by their grave beseeming ornaments to wield old partisans in hands as old, cankered with peace, to part your cankered hate. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time, all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me. And Montague, come you this afternoon to know our further pleasure in this case. To old Freetown, our common judgment place. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart.
Okay, thank you, Sheila. Good start for our round for today. We now have Maggie. Let's see what she's going to do. Maggie is going to do...
Vicentio and a 3-2. Okay, this is
the very end of the scene.
Measure for measure. So 3-2, does it say? Because I'm not looking at it now.
Yeah, 3-2, the very end of the scene.
Okay. I'm scrolling.
So whenever you're ready.
It's a long scene. Interesting. All right. Actually, whoops, what happened? Sorry, it just kept going. You know how it didn't just go to the end of the scene. So it got into Act 4 accidentally. Act 4, Scene 3. I'm sorry, 3. Just kept going through 3, 2. Okay, it's pretty short actually, but I'll do it. All right. Peace be with you. He who the sword of heaven will bear should be as holy as severe, pattern in himself to know, grace to stand, and virtue go. More nor less to others paying than by self-offenses weighing. Shame to him whose cruel striking kills for faults of his own liking. Twice treble shame on Angelo to weed my vice and let his grow. Oh, what may man within him hide, though angel on the outward side? How may likeness made in crimes, making practice on the times, to draw with idle spider strings most ponderous and substantial things? Craft against vice I must apply. With Angelo tonight shall lie his old betrothed, but despised. So disguise shall, by the disguised, pay with falsehood false exacting, and perform an old contracting. Thank you.
Okay, great. So John, you're up. You're going to do Dawn of God, declaring speech. He thinks I'm a prophet new inspired. That's Richard II, Act 2, Scene 1. Give me a second to create your banner for you. There you go. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Okay. Methinks I am a prophet new inspired, and thus expiring to foretell of him. His rash fierce blaze of riot cannot last, for violent fires soon burn out themselves. Small showers last long, but sudden storms are short. He tires betimes that spurs too fast betimes. With eager feeding, food doth choke the feeder. Light vanity, insatiate cormorant, consuming mean, soon preys upon itself. This royal throne of kings, this sceptred isle, this earth of majesty, this seat of Mars, this other Eden, dare my paradise. This fortress built by nature for herself against infection and the hand of war. This happy breed of men, this little world, this precious stone set in the silver sea, which serves it in the office of a wall, or a most defensive to a house against the envy of less happier lands. This blessed plot, this earth, this realm, this England, this nurse, this teeming womb of royal kings, feared by their breed and famous by their birth, renowned for their deeds as far from home, for Christian service and true chivalry, as in the sepulchre in stubborn Jewry of the world's ransom. Blessed Mary, Son, this land of such dear souls, this dear, dear land. Dear for her reputation through the world, is now leased out. I die pronouncing it, like to a tenement or a pelting farm. England bound in with the triumphant sea, whose rocket shore beats back the envious siege of watery Neptune. is now bound in with shame, with inky blots and rotten parchment bonds. That England that was wont to conquer others hath made a shameful conquest of itself. Oh, would the scandal vanish with my life, how happy then were my ensuing death.
Okay, thanks, John. Okay, so I have the last turn according to the randomly chosen order. And just to mention, we've only got 4 of us today. Unless there's an objection, I'd like to do a second round of monologues before we spin for scenes. We did that last week because when we started last week, we only had 3 players, but then some people joined us and we didn't need to do second monologues to make sure we had a decent round. But I'd already said it, so we had to do it. So since we only have 4, let's definitely do a second round, unless somebody has an objection, they're in a hurry or something, let me know. But I'll do this, and then we'll go back to Sheila for another to go through the same rounds again. So my first monologue will be holy shit. I've played this role on stage twice. I could probably do this off book, but it's been so long, I should probably put it in front of me just in case it's been too long and I've forgotten. I think I could do it off book, but just to be safe, I'm not bringing that. Oh wait, gotta grab my banner here. Holy St. Francis! What a change is here! Is Rosaline, whom thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Jesu Maria, what a deal of brine hath washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosaline! How much salt water thrown away in waste to season love that of it doth not taste! The sun not yet thy sighs from heaven clears, thy old groans yet screaming in my ancient ears. Lo, here upon thy cheek the stain doth sit of an old tear that is not washed off yet. Ere thou wast thyself, and these woes thine, thou and these woes were all for Rosaline. And art thou changed? Pronounce this sentence then: women may fall when there's no strength in men. Okay, we're back to Sheila. Your second monologue will be Camera from Titus Andronicus. My lovely Act 2, Scene 3 begins with my lovely Aaron. So
Got it. My lovely Aaron, wherefore look'st thou sad, when everything doth make a gleeful boast? The birds chant melody on every bush. The snake lies rolled in the cheerful sun. The green leaves quiver with the cooling wind and make a checkered shadow on the ground. Under their sweet shade, Aaron, let us sit. And whilst the babbling echo mocks the hounds, replying shrilly to the well-tuned horns, as if a double hunt were heard at once, let us sit down and mark their yelping noise. And after conflict such as was supposed the wandering prince and Dido once enjoyed, when with a happy storm they were surprised and curtained with a counsel-keeping cave, we may, each wreathed in the other's arms, our pastimes done, possess a golden slumber, whilst hounds and horns and sweet melodious birds be unto us as is a nurse's song of lullaby to bring her babe asleep. Scene.
Okay, thanks, Celia. So, Maggie, you're up next. Your next monologue will be Claudius, and the offense's ring.
Okay.
Act 3, Scene 3 in Hamlet. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Oh, my offense is rank, it smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon a brother's murder. Pray, can I not, though inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. And like a man to double business bound, I stand in pause where I shall first begin and both neglect. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Whereto serves mercy, but to confront the visage of offense? And what's in prayer but this twofold force, to be forestalled ere we come to fall, or being pardoned, or pardoned being down? Then I'll look up. My fault is past. But oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder? That cannot be. Since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder, my crown, my own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense? In the corrupted currents of this world, offense's gilded hand may shove by justice, and oft is seen the wicked prize itself buys out the law. But 'tis not so above. There is no shuffling. There the action lies in his true nature, and we ourselves compelled, even to the teeth and forehead of our faults, to give in evidence. What then? What rests? Try what repentance can, what can it not? Yet what can it when one cannot repent? Oh, wretched state! Oh, bosom black as death! O limed soul that, struggling to be free, art more engaged! Help, angels, make essay. Bow, stubborn knees, and heart, with strings of steel, be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Maggie. So, John, you're up. And then John's going to do Okay. Leo's really liking Titus Andronicus today. Who is it? I believe this is when he finds Lavinia after she's been mutilated and raped. Act 2, Scene 4. So this is when I believe it's when Lavinia enters and he sees her like this and he says this.
The first words are, who is this?
Who it might be? What is this? Who is this or what is it? Something like that.
Oh, okay. I got it. Who is this? My niece that flies away so fast. Cousin, a word. Where is your husband? If I do dream, would all my wealth would wake me. If I do wake, some planet strike me down, that I may slumber to eternal sleep. Speak, gentle niece, what stern, ungentle hands have lopped and hewed and made thy bloody bare of her two branches? Those sweet ornaments whose circling shadows kings have sought to sweep in, and might not gain so great a happiness as to have thy love. Why dost thou not speak to me? Alas, a crimson river of warm blood, like to a bubbling fountain stirred with wind, doth rise and fall between thy rosed lips, coming and going with thy honeyed breath. But sure, some Tereus hath deflowered thee, and lest thou shouldst detect him, cut thy tongue. Ah, now thou turnst away thy face for shame. And notwithstanding all this loss of blood, as from a conduit with thee, with three issuing spouts, yet do thy cheeks look red as Titan's face, blushing to be encountered with a cloud. Shall I speak for thee? Shall I say 'tis so? Oh, that I knew thy heart, and knew thy beast, that I might rail at him to ease my mind. Sorrow concealed, like an oven stop, doth burn the heart to cinders where it is. Fair Philomela, she but lost her tongue, and in tedious sampler sued her mind. But, lovely niece, that mean is cut from thee. A craftier, curious cousin hadst thou met, and he have cut those pretty fingers off. They could have better sewed than Philomel. Oh, had the monster seen those lily hands tremble like aspen leaves upon a lute, and make the silken strings delight to kiss them, well, he would not have touched them for his life. Or had he heard the heavenly harmony which that sweet tongue hath made, he would have dropped his knife and fell asleep as Cerberus at the Thracian poet's feet. Come, let us go, and make thy father blind, for such a sight will blind a father's eye. 1 hour's storm will drown the fragrant meads of what will hold months of tears thy father's eyes. Do not draw back, for we will mourn with thee. Oh, could our mourning ease thy misery? Thank you.
Okay, thanks, John. All right, so last monologue before we spin for scenes will be mine. I will do. Ooh, Edmund, faster. Which art my goddess? Thou nature art my goddess, to thy law my services are bound. Wherefore should I stand in the plague of custom, and permit the curiosity of nations to deprive me, for that I am some 12 or 14 moonshines lag of a brother? Why bastard? Wherefore base? My dimensions are as well compact, my mind is generous, and my shape as true, as honest madam's issue. I brand they us with base, with baseness, bastardy, base, with base. Who in the lusty stealth of nature take more composition and fierce quality than doth within a dull, stale, tired bed go to the creating a whole tribe of thoughts got between the sleep and wake? Well then, legitimate Edgar, I must have your land. Our father's love is to the bastard Edmund as to the legitimate. Fine word, legitimate. Well, my legitimate, if this letter speed and my invention thrive, Edmund the base shall top the legitimate. I grow, I prosper. Now, gods, stand up for bastards! Was fun. All right, so let's see what scenes the wheel is going to give the four of us for today. Antony and Octavia and Antony and Cleopatra, Act 3, Scene 4. It is Antony with the second wife, who's the sister of Augustus. They got. And Proteus and Valentine, two gentlemen, Act 2, Scene 4. Proteus and Valentine. Okay, so the four roles for the four of us to choose from: Octavia, Antony, and Antony and Cleopatra, Proteus, and Valentine in Two Gentlemen of Verona. So, Sheila, what would you like?
Ooh, I will do Proteus.
Sheila will do Proteus. Maggie, what would you like?
I'll take Antony.
Maggie's going to take Antony. And John, what would you like?
What was the other character?
There's Valentine to Shelia's Proteus, or Octavia to Maggie's Antony.
Well, I guess Octavia.
Octavia, okay. Okay, and then that leaves me as Valentine. Okay, so we'll start with John and Maggie.
I missed the act and scene. I'm sorry. I've got the
Act 3, Scene 4.
Act 3, Scene 4. Okay. All right. I think it's the whole scene.
I think so. It's a short scene.
It's a very short scene, by the way.
Yeah, but it's the whole. So it's the whole thing. Okay.
It's only about 40 lines.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell me when you have it, John.
Okay.
Ready?
No, not quite.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It's at the very beginning?
It's a very short scene, yeah. Scene 4, Athens, a Roman Mark Antony's house. That's what mine says.
Okay. Oh, you can. Do you start there?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Nay, nay, Octavia, not only that, that were excusable, that, and thousands more of semblable import. But he hath waged new wars against Pompey, made his will and read it to public ear, spoke scantly of me, when perforce he could not but pay me terms of honor. Cold and sickly he vented them. Most narrow measure lent me, when the best hint was given him, he not took't, or did it from his teeth.
Oh, my good Lord, believe not all, or if you believe, stomach not all. A more unhappy lady in this division chance ne'er stood between praying for both parts. The good gods meet presently. When I shall pray, oh, bless my Lord and husband. Undo that prayer by crying out as loud, oh, bless my brother. Husband win brother, prays and destroys the prayer. No midway twixt these extremes at all.
Gentle Octavia, let your best love draw to the point which seeks best to preserve it. If I lose mine honor, I lose myself. Better I were not yours than yours so branchless. But as you requested, yourself shall go betweens. The meantime, lady, I'll raise the preparation of a war shall stain your brother. Make your soonest haste, so your desires are yours.
Thanks to my Lord, the Jove of power make me most weak, you reconciler. Wars twixt you twain would be as if the world should cleave, and that slain men should soldier up the rift.
When it appears to you where this begins, turn your displeasure that way. For our faults can never be so equal that your love can equally move them. Provide your going, choose your own company, and command what cost your heart has mind to. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, you guys. So now it's myself and Sheila doing Valentine and Proteus, and looks like so we're the end of the scene when Sylvia and Thurio exit, and it'll start with Valentine. I'll say, "Now tell me how to all from whence you came." That's where you are.
Yes.
Okay, and then it ends with Valentine exits, and then Proteus gets a monologue. So when we get, I'll take myself out of the stream, and then you'll just finish with that. So, okay. Now tell me, how do all from whence you came?
Your friends are well and have them much commended.
And how do yours?
I left them all in health.
How does your lady, and how thrives your love?
My tales of love were wont to weary you. I know your joy not in a love discourse.
Aye, Proteus, but that life is altered now. I have done penance for condemning love, whose high imperious thoughts you've punished me, with bitter fasts, with penitential groans, with nightly tears, and daily heart-sore sighs, for in revenge of my contempt of love, love hath chased sleep from my enthralled eyes, and made them watchers of mine own heart's sorrow. O gentle Proteus, love's a mighty lord, and hath so humbled me, as I confess, there is no woe to his correction, nor to his service no such joy on earth. Now no discourse, except it be of love. Now can I break my fast, dine, sup, and sleep upon the very naked name of love.
Enough. I read your fortune in your eye. Was this the idol that you worship so?
Even she. And is she not a heavenly saint?
No, but she is an earthly paragon.
All her divine.
I will not flatter her.
Oh, flatter me, for love delights in praises.
When I was sick, you gave me bitter pills, and I must minister the like to you.
Speak the truth by her. If not divine, yet let her be principality, sovereign to all the creatures on the earth.
Except my mistress.
Sweet, accept not any, except thou wilt accept against my love.
Have I not reason to prefer mine own?
And I will help thee to prefer her too. She shall be dignified with this high honor, to bear my lady's train, lest the base earth should from her vesture chance to steal a kiss, and of so great a favor, growing proud, disdain to root the summer swelling flower, and make rough winter everlastingly.
Why, Valentine, what braggartism is this?
Pardon me, Proteus, all I can is nothing to her whose worth makes our worthies nothing. She is alone.
Then let her alone.
Not for the world. Why, man, she is mine own, and I as rich in having such a jewel as 20 seas, if all their sand were pearl, the water nectar and the rocks pure gold. Forgive me that I do not dream on thee, because thou seest me dote upon my love. My foolish rival that her father likes, only for his possessions are so huge, is gone with her along, and I must after. Her love, thou knowest, is full of jealousy.
But she loves you.
Aye, and we are betrothed. Nay, more, our marriage hour, with all the cunning manner of our flight determined of. How I must climb her window, the ladder made of cords, and all the means plotted and agreed on for my happiness. Good Proteus, go with me to my chamber, and these affairs to aid me with my counsel.
Go on before, I shall inquire you forth. I must unto the road to disembark some necessaries that I needs must use, and then I'll presently attend you.
Will you make haste?
I will. Even as one heat another heat expels, or as one nail by strength drives out another, so the remembrance of my former love is by a newer object quite forgotten. Is it mine or Valentine's praise, her true perfection, or my false transgression, that makes me reasonless to reason thus? She is fair, and so is Julia that I love, that I did love. For now my love is thawed, which, like a waxen image against a fire, bears no impression of the thing it was. Methinks my zeal to Valentine is cold, and that I love him not as I was wont. Oh, but I love his lady too much, and that's the reason I love him so little. How shall I dote on her with more advice that thus was given advice begin to love her? 'Tis but her picture I have yet beheld, and that hath dazzled my reason light. But when I look on her perfections, there's no reason but I shall be blind. If I can check my erring love, I will. If not, to compass her, I'll use my skill. Scene.
Okay. Thanks. So that was fun. Thanks, everybody, for your performances today. Always great performing with you once a week. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope the people watching enjoyed watching us as well, and that you'll tune in the same time next week, every Saturday, here on this channel on YouTube for the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge. Bye now. See you guys next week.